A shockwave rippled through the film world. Actor Ryo Yoshizawa passionately celebrated the legendary director Sang-il Lee, recipient of the prestigious Akira Kurosawa Award. What unfolded on stage was more than a simple message of gratitude. It was a heartfelt story of trust and artistic devotion. "He believed in me more than I believed in myself," Yoshizawa confessed, his voice filled with emotion. What deeper meaning lies behind those powerful words? Tonight, we dive into the emotional bond that moved the entire film industry. The lingering echoes of the award ceremony still filled the grand hall of the Imperial Hotel. Bubbles of champagne rose quietly as reporters, filmmakers, and guests continued to gather. Beneath the glittering chandeliers, the trophy left at the center of the stage shimmered softly, like a reel of film slowly capturing the passage of time. Director Sang-il Lee's win was not merely an acknowledgement of artistic excellence. It was a moment that reaffirmed the profound emotional depth of Japanese cinema to the world. His film National Treasure, Koku, served as a mirror reflecting the realities of society, a story that illuminated both the pride and pain buried deep within the human heart. Its message and cinematic brilliance have been celebrated both domestically and internationally, already hailed as a masterpiece that defines the 2020s. At the very center of this phenomenon stood the young actor Ryo Yoshizawa. Throughout the film's production, Yoshizawa pushed himself beyond his physical and emotional limits. On set, he faced countless moments of intense direction from Lee, moments that forced him to shatter his own barriers and open doors to unexplored depths of his craft. "The director's gaze is always sharp, but there's warmth behind it," Yoshizawa once said in an interview. "Even when I was pushed to the edge, I believed there would be salvation. That's because director Lee truly believed in me." Those words perfectly captured the essence of their teacher-student bond, a relationship built on trust, pain, and respect. The filming of National Treasure often extended deep into the night. During one particularly grueling session, Yoshizawa had to perform a climactic scene where he was to unleash all his bottled emotions. After multiple takes, tension filled the air. Then, Lee quietly said from behind the camera, "Don't cry. You don't have to. Let your heart cry instead." That single line changed everything. Yoshizawa didn't shed a tear, yet his face alone conveyed unbearable sorrow. When the take ended, the entire crew stood in silence. It was a sacred moment, an unspoken understanding between actor and director, where emotion transcended words. That same connection was palpable at the award ceremony. When Lee raised the Kurosawa trophy high on stage, Yoshizawa's eyes glistened with emotion. His words, "He believed in me more than I believed in myself," carried the weight of everything they had endured together, not as polite praise, but as a raw confession from the depths of his soul. After the ceremony, Lee quietly stood in the dressing room, holding the bouquet Yoshizawa had handed him. A staff member approached and asked, "Director, would you like to rest?" Lee smiled faintly and replied, "This bouquet, it smells like Yoshizawa's sweat." It was a simple remark, yet it embodied years of dedication, passion, and a filmmaker's deep affection for the people who fought beside him. Meanwhile, Chloe Zhao, also honored that evening, represented another kind of cinematic spirit. The Beijing-born director, who made history as the first Asian woman to win the Academy Award for Best Director with Nomadland, stood gracefully beside Lee. During her speech, she said, "I learned from Akira Kurosawa the courage to portray human truth through the camera." Her words resonated across the room. Seeing Zhao and Lee, two artists from East and West, standing side by side was a powerful symbol of how cinema transcends borders, uniting souls through the language of storytelling. Outside the venue, a burst of camera flashes followed them into the night. Amid the dazzling lights, Yoshizawa stopped briefly and said, "Tonight is something I'll never forget. Meeting the director, and standing here together under the name of Akira Kurosawa, that is my own national treasure." His poetic words spread rapidly across social media, where fans praised, "It sounds like a line straight from a movie." As Yoshizawa stepped out of the hotel, the chill of the autumn night brushed against his face. The moon hung quietly over Tokyo, its light reflecting on the glass facade of the Imperial Hotel, creating a dreamlike glow. After finishing his interviews, Lee looked up at the same sky and murmured, "I wonder how Kurosawa-san would have filmed this view." It was a quiet reflection that revealed his endless pursuit of artistry, the spirit of a man who lives for cinema itself. The districts of Hibiya, Yuraku, Marunouchi, and Ginza, home to the Tokyo International Film Festival, were alive with energy. Posters lined the streets, bearing the festival's slogan, "Cinema connects the world." Crowds filled the theaters, eager to be moved by the stories unfolding on screen. Among the exhibits, National Treasure drew the most attention. Fans lingered around displays of behind-the-scenes footage and production photos, captivated by the film's creative process and emotional power. In interviews leading up to the ceremony, Lee repeatedly expressed his reverence for the name Akira Kurosawa. Kurosawa-san once said that cinema is a record of humanity, Lee shared. "I want to follow that path. No matter how times change, as long as people live, I want to keep capturing the tremors of the human heart." His words felt like a prayer, sincere and unwavering, and everyone in the room nodded silently, feeling the truth of his conviction. As the night deepened and the hall emptied, a few staff members remained in the dimly lit lobby, quietly packing up. Amid the fading lights, Lee and Yoshizawa exchanged a final promise. "Let's do it again," Yoshizawa said. "Next time, let's make something even greater." Their eyes met, both burning with the same spark, the kind of fire that signals the beginning of something extraordinary. By the following morning, every major newspaper headline in Japan carried their names. Director Sang-il Lee wins Akira Kurosawa Award and Ryo Yoshizawa's tearful tribute to his mentor. On social media, hashtags like #NationalTreasure, #Akira Kurosawa Award, #Sang-il Lee, and #Ryo Yoshizawa dominated the trends. Fans and critics alike were moved by the authenticity of their bond, a reminder that, in an age of spectacle, true artistry still lies in sincerity. Cinema's power, after all, is its ability to convey emotion beyond language. What happens on screen can ripple through real life, stirring hearts, inspiring dreams, and connecting strangers. The story born that night at the Imperial Hotel was proof of that power, a bridge between generations, carrying Kurosawa's legacy into the future. Sang-il Lee, the man who inherited the master's spirit, and Ryo Yoshizawa, the actor who carries it forward. Together, they marked the beginning of a new chapter in Japanese cinema. Later that night, Tokyo was quiet once more. Under the soft glow of city lights, a photograph appeared on social media. In it, Lee stood holding the bouquet, smiling gently, while Yoshizawa looked forward with calm determination beside him. The caption was simple: "Cinema lives on." It was more than a message. It was a declaration that the soul of Akira Kurosawa continues to breathe through those who dare to dream, to struggle, and to believe in the power of film. As dawn broke after the award ceremony, soft morning light streamed into the Tokyo sky. Inside the quiet halls of the Imperial Hotel, the air still carried the lingering warmth of the previous night. Bouquets and message cards bearing the names of director Sang-il Lee and Ryo Yoshizawa lined the hotel lobby, carefully arranged by staff. It felt as though the spirit of that night, the bond between master and disciple formed under the name of the Akira Kurosawa Award, and the passion of true filmmakers, still lived in that space. Dressed in a black jacket, director Lee appeared for an early morning press conference. As he bowed deeply before taking the microphone, a blend of exhaustion and quiet fulfillment surrounded him. "Receiving an award bearing the name of Akira Kurosawa is a reminder of the weight of cinema itself," Lee began. His voice was calm but carried a firm conviction with every word. Kurosawa-san never shied away from the complexities of human nature. He looked straight into the space between hope and despair. "Through my films, I want to continue portraying both the light and the shadow within people." The room fell into deep silence. Every journalist listened intently. In all of Lee's works, Villain, Rage, and now National Treasure, Koku, one constant theme has remained: the truth of humanity. His films are not about spectacle or grandeur. They are quiet, introspective explorations that leave a deep, lingering ache in the viewer's heart. They don't shout, they whisper, but that whisper reaches the soul. Later, Yoshizawa joined the press conference for a joint interview. As flashes from dozens of cameras illuminated the room, he smiled shyly while taking his seat beside the director. "I still remember the first time I met director Lee," Yoshizawa said. "It wasn't an audition, it was more like a one-on-one conversation. The first thing he asked me was, 'How far can you destroy yourself?'" The audience burst into laughter, but Yoshizawa's expression soon turned serious. "That question shaped who I am today," he continued. "There were times during filming when I almost broke down, days when I couldn't deliver my lines, nights when I cried in frustration. But the director would always be there, quietly telling me, 'It's okay. The film will embrace your weakness.' Those words gave me the strength to find the real emotions inside myself." Director Lee listened with a gentle smile. "He's truly a sincere and delicate actor," Lee said softly. "Even when I don't say anything, he senses the atmosphere and moves accordingly. That's something rare." Between the two men existed something that transcended the boundaries of teacher and student, a mutual trust, as if their souls were in harmony. The conversation turned toward the social impact of National Treasure. The film, depicting the weight of history and the dignity of humanity, had deeply moved audiences across generations. On social media, comments like "I couldn't speak after it ended" and "Lee's portrayal of silent anger stayed with me" flooded timelines. Theaters remained sold out for weeks. One high school student wrote online, "This movie made me want to chase my dreams again," garnering over 10,000 likes. It was proof of what Lee had always believed, that cinema is not mere entertainment, but something with the power to change lives. Lee recalled a brief exchange he'd had with Chloe Zhao on the night of the awards. "She told me, 'Cinema is a form of prayer,'" he said quietly. "That phrase stayed with me. For me, too, cinema is a prayer for humanity." His words reflected not just art, but philosophy. Zhao's presence had clearly inspired him, and the two even discussed the possibility of collaborating someday. As night fell again, Tokyo was once more wrapped in a sea of light. In front of the Hibiya Theater, crowds gathered beneath the glowing National Treasure poster. Some had traveled overnight from distant prefectures, others had flown in from abroad. They all shared the same sentiment: the film is alive. One audience member, wiping tears, whispered, "This movie doesn't end on the screen, it continues in my heart." Hearing those reactions, director Lee later said in an interview, "A film is only complete when it meets its audience. What I create is merely the beginning. The movie continues to live through how viewers feel and how they live afterward. That's why cinema is eternal." The journalists, scribbling furiously in their notebooks, looked up at him as if attending a masterclass in the meaning of art. For Yoshizawa, too, this moment became a turning point. "I'm still inexperienced," he admitted. "But meeting director Lee taught me to accept my weaknesses, and that's how I've grown. I think cinema is beautiful precisely because it's made by imperfect people." His thoughtful words, full of humility and insight, reflected the very spirit that the Akira Kurosawa Award celebrates, a devotion to truth and humanity. Later that evening, the two stood together once more in the quiet lobby of the Imperial Hotel. As the staff finished cleaning and the lights dimmed, Lee turned to Yoshizawa and said, "No matter what happens from here, always believe in cinema. As long as you believe, it will never betray you." Yoshizawa smiled and replied, "As long as you're here, director, I'll keep believing." Their handshake lingered, a silent exchange of respect, gratitude, and promise. The following day, social media exploded with the hashtag #BelieveInCinema. The story of the two men's bond spread rapidly, inspiring thousands. Many commented, "This made me want to believe in something again." In that moment, cinema had once again transcended borders and generations, just as Akira Kurosawa once dreamed it could. On November 5th, the Tokyo International Film Festival reached its finale. During the closing ceremony, a special video of National Treasure was shown. At the end, a handwritten message by director Lee appeared on screen. "Cinema never ends." Tears streamed down the faces of several audience members as the screen faded to black. Even after leaving the theater, people lingered outside, talking quietly among themselves. "This movie will change someone's life," one person said. "It makes me want to try again tomorrow," said another. As director Lee walked alone through the softly lit streets of Ginza that night, the city lights reflected gently on his back. His figure appeared solitary yet strong, much like Kurosawa himself once was. Sang-il Lee, too, continues to gaze into the depths of humanity, filming its beauty and its pain. Somewhere ahead, in one of his future stories, Ryo Yoshizawa will surely stand again, reborn, ready to tell another truth. And that one unforgettable line, "He believed in me more than I believed in myself," still lives on in countless hearts. Cinema never ends. Even when the screen fades to black, the story continues, replaying endlessly in the hearts of those who watched. The spirit of Akira Kurosawa lives on, carried by Sang-il Lee's burning passion, illuminating the path forward for the future of Japanese cinema. And somewhere above Tokyo, that light still shines, quietly, eternally. A shockwave rippled through the film world. Actor Ryo Yoshizawa passionately celebrated the legendary director Sang-il Lee, recipient of the prestigious Akira Kurosawa Award. What unfolded on stage was more than a simple message of gratitude, it was a